Hi, I'm Brin. I'm the owner and administrator of bigender.net, which is now the home, as a reminder, which is now the home of a Dreamwidth installation, which is a descendant of LiveJournal. So what that is a place that people can create their own journals and communities to link themselves together through common interests. You can set the privacy controls to as private or as public as you want them to be. You can restrict access to particular people who also have journals on that site. You can restrict access to people who have live journals for Dreamwidth or any other OpenID site, or the general public, or just for yourself. But the more people we get, the better community it is. You don't have to be bigender to be on the site. In fact, we're a pretty small minority, so I think at some point we probably would be outnumbered if it really takes off. And we do kind of need a critical mass of people to make it a thriving community, and that's what I really want. With a certain focus on, or a certain focus on safety for those who are bigender or multigender, non-binary. You don't have to fit any of those qualifications. You can be straight, cis, het, whatever. But as long as you're respectful of, us in our home, then you're welcome, and we'd love to read all about you if you let us. Okay, so that's just a reminder, because we have maybe 25 or 40 people, but we always want more. So please join us. You can join using invite code TUBINGYOU, TUBINGYOU, all one word. Okay, so tonight I was going to talk about work, kind of. I'd gone out to dinner. That's why I'm a little spiffed up. I went out to dinner with my friend AJ, and we were sort of catching up on what's going on, in our lives, and what's new with partners and with work and that kind of thing. And he just celebrated a huge milestone. He actually just came out at work. Now, he works for a major retailer who has a pretty good track record as it comes to trans employees. One of my other good friends also works for the same company, and they were fantastic throughout his whole transition. And I was talking about how there was some shakeup at my current company, and somebody who was in a position of power above me is no longer with the company. And what I realized in the week and a half or so that he's been gone is that he was actually a really big source of stress for me, and I didn't realize it, because I knew how he felt about trans people. Now, my company has a policy about gender identity being protected the same way that sexual orientation and race and religion are protected. However, in practice, I never saw that borne out. There was one trans woman who was working there when I started, and she was let go in a big reduction in force. And I don't think necessarily her trans status had anything to do with that. I think it's, probably was just something that needed to be done. However, I heard a lot of comments behind her back, and while I tried to put up some response, I wasn't quite the ally that I could have or should have been, especially given the fact that I was trans myself, or am trans myself. But I was terrified of outing myself because I didn't want to risk my job and the welfare of my family by coming out when I didn't have to. And that's a terribly privileged position to be in. It's not fair. And, she didn't pass remarkably well, but that really doesn't matter. In fact, that just means she needs all the more protecting, and I'm ashamed of how I behaved at that point, but aside from just her presence, he would make comments all the time about, someone was taking a vacation or something, then there was a joke about coming back as Maria or whatever. I had surgery in February on my nose. There was a comment or two made about having a new name when I came back and looking different, and just made it clear to me that these kinds of discussions were not welcome. But now he's gone, and I realized that I can be a little more relaxed about it, which is ironic because that was part of the reason I was looking for a new job, and I have a sort of offer maybe coming out that would be for a contract position, and I don't know how that company would handle my trans identity, if I would be protected, or if that puts me at risk because it's a major company of maintaining, of sort of being asked not to return because of some perception they want to maintain, or because it's a fairly conservative industry that I would be going into. I don't know how that would work out, and it's not that I planned on coming out a new job. I certainly am not going to come out. Well, I don't think I'm going to come out at my current job. I'm still a major breadwinner, the major supporter for my family, and I feel like it would probably be fairly irresponsible of me to come out at work. Sorry, I'm just trying to get comfortable. Irresponsible of me to come out at work and risk losing my job, but my new boss is, I don't want to put too many labels on him, but he's also a member of the LGBTQ community, and he has trans friends. He has some trans women friends. I don't know that he knows any trans men, but and he certainly doesn't know any bigendered people that he's aware of. But I'm sort of in a dilemma now. Do I take the risk of staying in a position where I may not be as well compensated as I could be, and I'm not. But it's a safer environment. I know that if he chanced upon these videos or somebody else chanced upon these videos, I'm not likely to be asked to leave because of them. I don't mention the company I work for, so it's not like a little product placement going on too. It's not like I'm trying to put the company's name at risk, but I feel safer in that kind of an environment if I were to come out, now that this person who made my life, made my work life so difficult is gone. And I guess I'd never really thought about just how pervasive a hostile working environment can be. And it sort of made me examine the way that I behave too, because I'm a man at work. I don't pretend to be the star quarterback at work. I'm not the manliest man that's ever been there, but I do present male and don't give any hint to my trans status. And there's one woman on our team, and the guy who's gone used to make marginalizing comments about women too. And I think I probably was not as good an ally as I could have been there as well. I think it was probably pretty okay, the stuff I did say, the few things I did say, because I'm a woman myself. I don't want to throw us all under the bus, but she would make comments about men, and she would sort of invite gendered humor to occur. Maybe that was that's her way of trying to fit in. But that's something I need to really examine and make sure that I'm not perpetuating that, especially now that the major source of that is gone. I don't want to create the hostile work environment for her just because of her gender, any more than I want one there for me because of my gender. But now I'm sort of in this position where, you know, I may be able to get a promotion at work, so there's more incentive for me to stay. And if I stay, how much weight do I give the potential for me to come out or to not be so closeted? But then I don't even know what kind of transition at work I could do. I mean, do I come as Brin some days and Paul other days? Is it less awkward if I just come as Brin every day? You know, I don't know if my company is prepared to explain non-binary gender to a bunch of techie geeks, you know? Now, granted, these are people who are more likely to have access to the internet. That does not mean that they are more likely to have access to non-normative genders or sexualities. I think. I don't know. I don't even know how important it is to me to come out. And I know I'm not really going anywhere with tonight's video. It's just, this is sort of what's on my mind right now, and I try not to make this a journaling blog, video log, whatever, and have it be somewhat informative and educational, but this is sort of where my brain is tonight, and I think it's an interesting discussion to have, at least for those of us who are bigender. Now, I know Sydney Tinker, who's on here, did start to transition at work and has somewhat detransitioned, so that she's Sydney some days and Rob other days. I think, and I'm trying to be careful not to put too many labels on her, but I think she initially identified as female as a trans woman, and discovered bigender as an identity or a concept, and realized that it was a better fit for her. And so now some days she's Rob at work and some days she's Sydney at work. And she's run into some problems with that, with people not respecting her presenting gender and not respecting her trans status. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I have small children that I need to support, so I don't know that I feel comfortable taking that kind of a risk. I don't know who's going to be so offended that they can't bear to work with me, who are going to feel like I'm creating a hostile work environment by being, you know, so far outside the norm. I mean, is it worth the risk? I don't know. I think for now, I'm just going to stick it out where I am and sort of see where this liminal in-between space lies, where I can relax my vigilance about not being out of the closet, or you know, fearing being brought out of the closet, and just sort of see what lives in the middle now. We've had some turnover. We have a new person coming on soon, so you know, I have a chance to set a new normal, and you know, I wonder if the opportunity is too good to pass up. I don't know. I'd love to see some discussion and comments and recommendations from people who have attempted transition at work, who have considered transition at work, especially anybody who has a non-normative gender that they are out as at work. I don't know how many of us, few there would be, of you there would be, but I would love to hear all of your information. So, yeah, this will probably generate a pretty good discussion at bigender.net in the forum as well, where these are always posted. So please feel free to come join us there. The address for that is www.bigender.net/forum. So the forum's still there. That's never gone anywhere. Same place it's always been. You just have to click another link or be more specific with the address now. So please come check out the new site. Remember, the invite code is 2BEINGYOU. And join the forum, join the discussion. Give me feedback on this work stuff, because really I'm kind of spinning right now. Okay, but that's long enough for me tonight. Good night, everyone, and I should have another video up in a couple weeks, hopefully, and I'll give you some more information on where this has gone. Okay, good night.